baby. I'm hoping that you do. You can ask the flowers. I sit for hours telling all the bluebirds, fulfilling Cooper's.
Was even harder on her and ended up getting therapy that lasted until she was 15. Let me repeat. She was in therapy for 2 years over one man. His sentence was 7 years. This happened in 2012. He was released last year. This man disgusts me to this day. Alright, this happened in middle school and still disgusts me to this day. This may not be as crazy as the other stories on the subreddit, but I need to share it. So, it was my first year of middle school, and I had a friend who I'll call Jessica. Jessica was in her last year when this story happened. So she had this crazy chemistry teacher who was a big pervert. However, the school couldn't do anything as he didn't make sexual jokes to the students or do anything. He just had that vibe, you know? However, this one day, one of his last days at the school, he decided to follow Jessica into the girls' bathroom and R her there. Jessica was silent for about 2 days after that, before she told the counselor of which he was arrested later that day. And to top it off, Jessica was asexual and despised sex, so it was even harder on her and she ended up getting therapy that lasted until she was 15. Let me repeat. She was in therapy for 2 years over one man. His sentence was 7 years. This happened in 2012. He was released last year. Ouija boards are real, no doubt. When I was about 9 or 10, my older brother and my cousins were playing in the basement at my grandmother's. They didn't let me play with them because, of course, the age gaps between me and them, so I just sat on the steps with my WWE toys and would kind of peek to see what they were doing from time to time when I heard laughing or anything. So that's when they all come from around the corner and say, "Go upstairs." I ran upstairs as soon as they said it, because usually my cousins and brother, if they said something twice, the second time usually came with a frog to the arm or a mean ear twist. My grandma had a table right in the middle of the basement she used to fold clothes. Me being bored and bad, I went halfway back down just enough to be able to see them, but not be seen. At the time, I didn't know what they were doing. All I could hear was them saying to each other, "Stop moving it." And "I'm not, that's you." I peeked around and see them around the table, hands stretched out, but I can't see what they're touching. I moved back some so I wouldn't get caught and beat, so I can only see my cousin Xavier's face. His eyes look big as shit. It wasn't like he was scared, but he was amazed. So I think I want to see what's so cool, and I remember just as I was stepping down, I heard my brother say, "Look." My cousin Xavier spun around, and at the exact moment I turned from looking at him, looking to the left and see my grandma's shutters closing on its own. I'm paralyzed with fear at this moment because this isn't my first run-in with some spooky shit. That's another story. My cousins and brother come zooming up the stairs past me. I'm watching the shit for it seemed like a year. Then I realized I have to run too before I was the last one up the stairs, and whatever was down there got me. My cousins and brother ran in the living room and told Granny. She proceeded to curse all of us out and then called my uncle to go get that, in her own words, devil shit out of her house. I remember my uncle saying he was gonna bury it. I haven't thought about it in years. These things work 100% sure. My classmate nearly stabbed someone. In my English class yesterday, we also had a substitute teacher. We were memorizing our speech. I was bored, so I was talking to my friend, and out of nowhere, the teacher screamed, "Stop!" and speed walks toward the desk behind me. So of course, I want to know what she's on about, so I turn around. I didn't expect what I saw, which was one of the calmest girls, let's call her Molly, make a stabbing motion towards this guy, let's call him Brad, while holding scissors, nearly stabbing him. The teacher asked her to talk to her, completely panicking, but she wouldn't. Molly kept on shouting that she was going to kill Brad and holding the scissors towards him. Now Brad was scared since he thought he was gonna get stabbed. After a while, she screamed, "Shut up," at him and turned to the teacher and says, "He's so annoying." The teacher, of course, asks her to put down the scissors, but she doesn't. After a while, she goes with the teacher, but she out the scissors in her skirt pocket. So everything is okay, right? Wrong. Brad thinks she's gone, so he starts singing Hail Mary in a joking manner, but Molly hears and lunges at him, holding the scissors, and tries to stab him, but misses because he jumps out of the way and shouts, "Now she was right next to me," and I hear her mumble, "I wish I didn't miss," and then she walks out of class with the teacher, still holding the scissors, and as she's walking out the door, my other hear her mumble, "All you bitches will pay, I'll kill all of you," and she finally leaves. Later, Molly comes back for her stuff and nearly tries to stab him again, but the teacher stops her. She just grumbles and puts the scissors back into her skirt pocket and walks out of the class with the teacher. A few seconds later, the teacher that looks over our year came in and asked if we're all okay, and then leaves with Molly. And we just continue with our work. One of her geography classmates also said that she did the same thing later. This was the first time she snapped like this, but she has made threats and clenched her fists at people, with no one saw as a big deal. Another friend of mine who sat next to her said that she had a list of targets and talked about if someone gets to 10 strikes, they die.